Hello, everyone, and welcome to the O2 Dropcast, where we cover the Craig of your local armory. Just kidding, it's still O3. Craig's just not with us this week. So this is what you get. Like any good DR plan, we have backups, and they are in multiple locations, and they're different formats from each other. So we're gonna just see what we can do without Craig this week.
I like to believe this is the episode where, for people that didn't buy the Craig DLC,
Yes,
this is the base game of the show.
if you haven't signed up for the Patreon yet, you get the Craig light versions, and then we digitally AI map him in for the premium subscribers. But no, he is just off doing other stuff, and as always, Chris is with us.
Howdy.
We spent a little bit of time doing microphone stuff, so hopefully this comes across a little better this week. But
I like how nobody fully understands or appreciates how much we panic microphone adjust before every episode.
Well, that's why it's all very inconsistent, because every week it's like my gain's at 40 this week. No, hopefully we have it nailed down, but without further ado, and with wasting no more time on boring behind the scenes stuff, we've had a lot of Rosetta spoilers since we last met. Just in the last 4 or 5 days or so, everything started pouring in.
Yeah, so like at time of recording, I mean, we're Wednesday, Wednesday evening East Coast, and it has been a busy couple of days. I mean, LSS put out the I kind of call them learn to play videos, where it's like hey, here's a blitz deck coming out, and here's another blitz deck coming out. We're gonna play them against each other, so you can see how the heroes play.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like the little learn to play tutorial interactive thing.
Oh, no.
I thought you were talking about that, but yeah, they'll get the devs together and they'll play the because they did the same thing with the armory decks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they did that. I mean, so it's we've seen all kinds of new cards. We've finally been able to see how these heroes we all had a good idea of how they play, but we've seen how they play in practice, as opposed to just it seems like Aurora goes fast and it seems like Verdance is a little bit more control-y. We've actually kind of seen what the developers intend for these heroes to be like, which is kind of neat. It's certainly a fun time, and we got to see kind of the equipment that we're going to get out of these sets.
I think that's kind of the important thing. Like, a lot of the equipment is making sense, and I think I'm talking more about like the token weapons, which I want to say we already had last week, so I don't think this is new news. Like the way Staff of Verdant shoots and Starfall work, like that was last week, right?
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, I think the thing that kind of I'm glad we got clarification on, especially when we talk Starfall, is in the first strike deck, Starfall is a rare. And so I kept going in my head, well, is there going to be a different token for Aurora? Or, is this just kind of like hey, every hero is going to potentially have another weapon you can draft in the equipment slot? But
I see what you mean.
Yeah, but no, it is actually her token weapon. So that's kind of good, is that everybody, that has started to theory craft and build out all these decks and all that kind of stuff. It's not all for naught, because the weapon that we've had is definitely the one that we're getting.
So that's interesting, because like for commoner, should there be some commoner to play with Aurora, Starfall is not going to count for her one rare that you can use. That's just
it is a token, or not a token rares, to say. Sorry. Yeah, it's a token rarity weapon. Now, even more exciting for the commoner fans, Findel's Fighting Spirit is now common. So Icelander is going to be super happy.
It was printed common.
It is common now in this set.
Interesting.
Yep.
So like, why do we think they keep doing stuff like that? Like,
I mean,
is that a balance thing?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they have something that says, hey, we do X number of rares in the set for printing, that you don't want to necessarily waste a rare spot on something that is an older card, been kind of around forever.
A reprint.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I doubt that they would ever be like, hey, CNC is now rare. But but I mean, something like this, it's like, hey, look, everybody has it. It's a play set. It's all over the place. People have more than they know what to do with. It's been around long enough. Let's just call it common and put it in, because it fits the theme or the feel of the deck.
I wonder if any like any actual consideration goes into the commoner format when they do that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I would not blame them for not doing that because
Hmm.
that's just kind of, so
Yeah, it's like a side format. I
it's
get it. I
in,
mean,
yeah. In the
but
grand scheme of things, I'd rather see the opportunity to get that reprinted at Common than worry about like, oh, what it's going to do to the commoner format.
yeah, certainly. I mean, and like I said, I mean, it's there has been a lot of talk about it, of us commoner lovers, but uh,
Oh, I
it's
mean,
neat.
I'm not shit talking commoner. I think it's fun. I like those kind of formats. They're very like low
Agreed.
stress, fun to just play on the side. I
Agreed.
don't mind playing that every now and then.
Yeah, but before we get into this, I mean, I think we had a fun weekend. Uh, basically, it was the beginning of skirmish weekend too.
Yeah,
So not
yeah.
only are we getting like all kinds of new cards and all that, but we're seeing some heroes potentially getting ready to say goodbye.
Who did you do any other skirmishes other than Green Tree?
No, I only had the time to do the one.
Yeah, yeah.
I was kind of panic picking on who to bring. I was working on a couple different decks. I had Big Axe Story ready to go again. I had a Jubil Dory built.
Hmm?
That was strictly going to be, I'm not going to win this, but I'm going to destroy every blaze that I go up
Yeah, I'm
against.
gonna ruin their day if I'm
Yeah.
not gonna win.
And then I had Blaze ready. And I also had Arachne Solitary, which is the one that I landed
Hmm.
on. Now, I did the mistake that I always do before, competitive events, is I start overthinking it. And I just decided, you know what, I'm going to fully disrespect Blaze and just try to avoid them and build into all my other strengths.
Yeah.
And I paired into 2 Blazes in 5 rounds.
Oh
So,
my god. I actually didn't play any.
lucky you.
Which is surprising.
Yeah, I mean they were fun matches. The opponents were good, but when you put 1 AB and 0 Oases in your deck, you
Yeah.
basically go, I'm dead or you're dead by turn 2, and we get plenty of time to eat pizza and hang out outside while we wait.
I mean, I did like the extent that I respected Wizards was having the sit or what you said.
Oasis. Yeah.
Oasis, man.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I had because I played Victor and I had my trounces and my like test of strength and stuff because I
Mm-hmm.
didn't really anticipate too many other guardians.
Mm-hmm.
I should have maybe like thought like, hey, there's gonna be at least a couple people playing brute. So
Mm-hmm.
I played a match against the brute that I like absolute because I lost both my test of strengths and one of my trounces, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, why am I even trying this against the brute? Like
Yeah.
what?
All I
Why
know
am I even
is
trying? I won every other one against ninjas. That still ended up killing me anyway. But
that your record of beating me is still undefeated
that's I was
as of skirmish season.
I was looking down not because I was being an uninterested date, but because I was trying to pull up the armory to think like I think it was round one that I beat you, wasn't it?
Yeah, yep, yep.
And we got that.
Me and you paired in round
Yeah,
1, and you definitely got me. I
yeah.
got
And Pat decimated me, and I played Schaefer round three. He was on Bolton.
okay.
That was the turn that I did cast homes twice in the same turn,
Gross.
and just had like like
Yeah.
8 or 9 might going into a
Here
turn.
comes a million might. Yep.
Yeah, and then Drew was a Victor Mirror, and he built his deck way better than mine. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have any pummels in it.
Oh,
Surprisingly, it was a pummel free build. And then Mr. Bobbles at the end. I mean, I did 3-2, which was better than I thought I was going to do with
hey,
like
that
such little practice.
one win better than me. I got
But yeah,
played into you. You were the victor. Lost into you, obviously. Then I played into Matt, who was on Aurora because she was legal for week 1, thanks to the first strike decks being
yeah,
out.
he sure attempted that, didn't he?
Yeah. And I always laugh, like Matt like walks in the beginning of any new set, new hero, and he's like, I got it figured out, I broke the thing. And granted, he probably should have beaten me.
Oh,
He just
really?
forgot flick knives was a thing. And
Oh,
so
gotcha.
I go to attack, he goes, I'm gonna block and go to 1. I said, hold on,
Hold
reactions,
on.
flick
But wait.
knife. And he goes, and I'm dead. So I mean
Yeah.
that was a
Yeah.
win. That I lost to Blaze round 3. I in a Blaze round 4. I think I had back to back Blazes.
Mm.
Round 5, I forget who I played against, but I got that. So I ended up 2-3.
Unlucky, really.
Yeah, I
Just
mean,
unlucky.
yeah, it's the way things go. I fully anticipated kind of running into maybe one, but a lot of people were kind of off of it. There was Zen's, I think Dash won it all at our locals. or at least the one that we went to.
Yeah, I think so.
And then we had another one where Zen won, and Zen I think is we're gonna yeet him into LL. I think before the season is over.
Cannot wait. Broken in every format.
Yeah, I love that tweet. It's like, we know he's broken. He's not gonna overshadow Rosetta. Don't worry about it.
I'm glad. I'm glad they stepped up and said that. You know what I mean? Like it's very like at some point when you look at it, and people were doing some maths on the conversions and stuff like that, and
it's so much.
It was like such a strong conversion, and just you don't even really have to look at the numbers. You just have to like look at what it can do. People are sitting there being like, 54 damage, double transcend AOW turn. Like, wow, that seems so,
it's a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, he is a great tech, and at first I was upset about it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, oh my god, it's so broken. This is gonna be miserable. But I've kind of shifted my mindset into like, I want this to be the Blitz Starvo, where everybody that like joins, there's the before Zen and the after Zen Blitz meta, where people go, oh, you weren't around for the Zen days. Be happy you weren't here for that. I
do love how the meta has, like, if you look at like the Mesozoic age and the all those other, with all the I suck at dinosaurs, I don't know, all those ages, like Fab has the same thing. It's like the pre-Starvo, all those different eras.
And so I think the day after the skirmish, I hopped on Twitter. It was like, okay, around the world, here's how many events we had. How many Zens got it? Can we L him on week number 1? and we did not. Sadly, we failed, but he's gotten 200 points. So we are sitting here with a Zen that is almost halfway there.
On their way.
1 week in. So hopefully, by the end of week 2, we can pick up another 200. And then we could see him gone week 3 and then just have the fastest conversion ever.
Yeah.
Is it ever? I mean, I don't think we've had another hero that's gone as fast as set release 3 months later gone.
I couldn't tell you off the top. I mean, I know Starvo went very, very fast, but I don't know that it was, I don't remember exactly.
But Starvo had like big events to get the wins. Like,
right.
This would just be a whole bunch of 5 points.
Yeah. Just winning every format.
Bing, 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 bing. I think that is just like real fun to think about. I'm sure not fun to play against, or if you're so bit lost it. But
I mean, like, every time I've lost to a Zen, it's been one of those like, Will Ferrell, like, I'm not even mad. That's amazing. It's crazy to see it play out, and it's a little frustrating to be sitting there on the other side of it. But like when you're, at the end, it's like, okay, that was still pretty impressive. Like the turn you were able to pull out of there. But I mean, it's people are winning on other decks. You know what I mean? That's the thing. It's
and we saw a bunch of wins. I mean, 33 Zen wins. And I'm looking at the graphic that they put out on Twitter. 33 Zen, 21 Victor, 14 Blaze, 11 Reinar. Reinar may be gone pretty soon. 10 Briar, 10 Dash, KO, Arachne Solitary. I mean, it seems like we've gotten a pretty good pull that, life post Zen. I think we're going to see a very wide open and a very kind of strong Blitz meta. I have a feeling Victor's going to kind of be the big bully to beat after that.
I hope so, because I actually like playing Victor. That'll be the one time that like the best deck in format, second best deck in format is something that I actually enjoy playing.
Sure.
Victor is so much fun in Blitz. I'm a convert.
Yeah, Victor seems like a good time. Victor seems like a real good time. I mean, it's just not my personal play style. I mean, if I'm playing, Guardian, I just want it to be Bravo. I just want to be like, here's something real big and it's dominated, and I'm going to do it again and do it again and do it again. And all that kind of stuff. But no, I mean, I get why people like him.
But also like double cast homes and then swing what I actually think I had? It was like I had one in Arsenal and pitched a blue, one cast homes from Arsenal, one from hand, and then used the other blue in my hand to heave a Thunderquake. So it was like, yes, sir, you have 17 damage coming to you next turn. Choose wisely.
Yeah.
It was just like, gross. Hey, that's fun.
That's real gross.
Yeah. That was an actual scenario that happened on
But so we had that. We had
Arsenal, one blue for Arsenal, one from hand, still have a blue left over to heave Thunderquake. Yeah, the maths.
But so we had that with the Blitz, the LLs. Obviously they don't get the points or anything like that. But
yeah,
Zen obviously number one there. But right behind Chain, Icelander, Bravo. Like we don't play a ton of LL in Pittsburgh.
I hope we start doing more now that
I
it's a
agree.
more vibrant, active format.
Yeah,
I want to see it replace Blitz.
I mean, I still like Blitz. I just like the whole like, hey, we're gonna go fast, we're gonna have fun, I'm gonna get a whole bunch of games in kind of thing. But it's my initial hatred of saying like I'm never gonna play LL because I just want to play with everybody playing the same broken deck. I think is calmed, especially because my fear was initially when I think LSS talked about LL, they said it was going to be kind of more of a casual format. And in my head, I was like, oh, it's going to be like commoner, but it's going to be the opposite. Instead of it being like we're taking away all the high powered stuff, it's just going to be we're going to give all the high powered
It's all
stuff
back.
and let it go. You know what I mean? And it's not. They've definitely started to say, okay, look, we're going to tone down some heroes, adjust some things, make some restrictions in LL to balance it, which made me a lot more interested.
Well, I'm still like I know we've said this before, but what it kind of like the reading between the lines, kind of like speculation of like what that means for them. I mean, when the game was younger, there were only at first, okay, there's 3 heroes out of Living Legend now. And so what is this format going to be? When there was the first Living Legend hero, it's like, okay, so what's the LL format? It's just like CC and Starvo.
Yep.
Like that's it. Like there wasn't enough of a difference. So now that like it's a viable format because you actually, there's what are we at, 9 LL heroes
in CC? Let me see.
yeah,
I think
it's 9. Like the difference between like 1 hero in LL and
8.
9, 8. Okay, yeah, okay,
pretty close. Yeah,
yeah. Like that's actually a different enough like amount of heroes to like justify taking LL more seriously now.
Well, yeah, and
So
the
it's
thing is,
like,
it seems like it's not just like. Granted, the heroes at LL they're still at the top of the charts, other than Zen. I mean, for who won? So you still got the Chain, the Icelander, Starvo, Prism, Dromai, kind of leading the charge. But you got people that like new got picked up 2 wins. An old like KO picked up a win, Dash picked up a win. So I mean, it's getting better, and they are putting enough focus on LL that I think it's just going to be, hey, this is CC, but bring back your old favorites.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the whole point being that is just a byproduct of growth of the game.
Yeah,
because
and
there's
granted, I'm
enough
sure
new stuff to be like, okay, it's not just going to be a 1 deck format. You're going to have like heroes that haven't hit LL'd competing against the like competing and holding up against the heroes who have hit LL, and like that sounds like a healthy format to me.
And I think the thing that is interesting to me about it, at least, is as it gets bigger and as it continues to grow and we get more heroes in there and new heroes get added to the game, I think it gives us a little bit more of a balanced field where it's not saying like normal CC isn't balanced or anything, but you got like, hey, the 1 or 2 top decks, and then you prep for those and you go. But here it's going to be like, hey, the entire history of Flesh and Blood is available at your fingertips.
All the power decks are here, not just the 1 or 2 that you worked around.
Yeah, I think it's going to still be saying, hey, look, you got to prep for a power deck, but you can't prep for every hero ever. So it's just, I'm going to this event. I think Chain is going to be the big, the big bully dog on the yard here. I got to prep for Chain. Maybe you're wrong. Maybe it's Icelander that shows up that week. Maybe somebody figures out something weird with New or Aurora coming out or whoever. Yeah. Like it's I think it's going to be
or like Riptide for as close as he's gotten on a couple things.
Yeah, like I think you're going to hear a lot less of, oh, I had a real terrible battle hardened because I paired into 4 Dromais in a row and I wasn't prepped for Dromai, or I made a call thinking it's going to be all Zen. Like it's I think you're going to get a lot less mirror matches and a lot more variety that is just going to say, hey, whoever's the most well-rounded player is going to generally kind of rise to the top. Like, sure, you may have beneficial matchups, but it should be a lot of fun as it goes out. I'm still a little nervous about it in the current iteration, but I think a couple more heroes added, a couple more restrictions that LSS puts on, I think I'll be a lot more excited for LL.
Yeah. And well, so speaking of restrictions and stuff, didn't they finally do a single color ban of something?
They did.
What am I thinking? It would
Is it
happen very
Bonds? And you're
recently.
talking in
Am I actually thinking of Bonds where they are like just that one is banned,
I believe
just one
so.
color of it?
I think it's Bonds being banned. Um, is it in? It's not in CC. I'll have to double check this. But I know they made that because they were like, hey, look, we don't want Zen playing Rainbow Bonds. But which is
Okay,
weird
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
Bonds is still available to him in Blitz. So it was basically saying, hey, we know it's a problem in CC, but
Well,
Wild West Blitz is going to be crazy. So
but I guess point being like, that's the first time that they've just banned a single color and not the entire set,
I think
not the rainbow,
so.
right? Ball lightning was just completely banned, right? It wasn't just red ball
Mm-hmm,
lightning.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Okay.
think so. I
Yeah. Well, like point being, like I'm glad they're starting to do that kind of stuff because I think I think I remember hearing something at one point, and this was a while ago, and I don't know I don't like remember exactly where I heard this, so do not quote me on it. But
mm-hmm.
I feel like I remember something where they were saying like they didn't want to do that. They're just like in some like random dev talk or something, it was like offhandedly mentioned that like we don't want to only ban a single color because some reason.
Yeah,
um
and
am I remembering that incorrectly,
no,
or I
no,
could have sworn?
I think you're right, and
Okay,
and I did confirm. Yeah, it's just Bonds blue and yellow. So I mean,
okay,
the red still
okay.
exists. I mean,
Oh,
Katsu gets a little bit of a hit.
I like that they've opened up to doing that more, with a single color because it's there's probably other situations that could like help, only banning a red of something.
You're right. We need to get rid of those blue sink belows.
The blue
They're
sinks
problematic.
are such an issue. Ban yellow sink belows. Nobody plays them
I'm gonna ban all
ever.
the yellows except for whatever Bolton needs,
Yeah,
which is
except for what the light illusionists need. Exactly. All those yellows stay.
yeah.
We can have those ones.
But no. So I
Um,
mean, skirmish season's good. 2 more weeks. We'll see kind of how it kicks off. I don't know if we'll be recording next week or not because I think we'll all be kind of packing our bags for Tampa. The
yes.
three of us.
Oh
I
no,
know.
that is next week, isn't
Yeah,
it?
isn't it scary? Like
Whew.
it is snuck up on us real quick. Like I keep
Uh,
going, like, oh, okay, Tampa's a little bit off, and then I look at the calendar, I'm like,
we got time.
oh no, next
Oh no.
Wednesday I will be packing, and Thursday I got an early morning flight, so
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes.
I gotta check in for my flights. Like make sure I have the apps or whatever. I forget. I don't even remember what airline I'm flying, but
Put that TSA pre-check number on.
I should go get pre-check. Ugh.
Oh, it's so nice. It's so worth it. 100% do it. It is, well, great. But anyway, so back to Rosetta. Back to Rosetta. And I know I kind of took us off the Rosetta hype train here for a little bit.
Well, that's fine because we were talking before we started. I'm not much of a wizard player. I don't like take too much time out of my day to sit and figure out what they do or how they're going to do it because it's just a class that is like too much up here for me. Little cerebral for my flesh and blood preferences.
Yeah.
But we were talking about uh, trying to make some sense of what Acilio is going to play like, and again, I think this is stuff that like is probably not super hot off the press. We had these weapons
hmm
3 weeks ago, I think, is when we got their
Yes.
token
Yeah.
weapons.
Yes. They released Acilios, I think, rather early. I was saying like, oh,
Yeah, yeah.
here's a preview. Get ready for what's coming,
Okay,
and everybody
yeah.
kind of went wild.
So,
Um,
now that we've seen more of these cards in the last couple of days, it's starting to make sense with all of the sigils that are going to be
hmm
available.
hmm
All those new, some of them in the very amazing extended arts that we saw there.
Yep.
Yeah, just with how many of these new sigils are coming out, it's starting to like kind of come together. Um, that okay, there's going to be a lot of sigils in play. A lot of them are going to be instant.
hmm
You're going to be able to slap some sigils down, and like we were talking about, maybe does it end up looking like something that also throws in like cheap 1 for 2 go again lightning attacks because
Sure.
you're presenting physical, and then you're going to be able to tag the arcane at the end with you're just kind of lengthening a combat chain of lightning cards that are going to add to that amp that you get to do at the end.
hmm
Um, is that something that what it ends up looking like? And now we have is this the embodiment of lightning? Yeah, like the sigil of lightning. Just give yourself an embodiment
hmm
so that you can maybe not even have to have some go again cards, just to hope to get that enlighten sorry hope to get that enlightenment, and
hmm
then just play some attacks, and then shoot some arcane. Might be more of a kind of feels like the Emperor in
A
that
little
way, though.
bit.
You know what I mean? Physical, just being able to hybrid on it.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely seems kind of fun. I like the lightning heroes. I think are going to be the two that a lot of people gravitate towards.
Yeah,
Again, I just played
because
like
go fast.
yeah. I mean, that's kind of what everybody likes to do. Is just like here's numbers, deal with them real quick, or else I win. You know what I mean? Especially when you're talking something limited of basically saying, hey, look, if I can put together a good aggro deck, and I think I have good packs for that, I bet you it's easier to put that together than somebody like Verdance.
Hmm.
Uh, so and again, Matt played Aurora at Green Tree, and she seems like a fun hero. I think the crucial part is going to be balancing your resources enough to use her ability. 2 seems steep. There was a lot of times where I'm sitting there saying like, you know, how do you come up with it? Like I think at one point, oh god, I forget what chess PC is running as a Rune Blade. I'm not a Rune Blade player, but it's the one that gives you a resource. If you've done something that turn, and he actually had to crack it to get one
Oh,
to use Aurora's ability.
are you just talking about like Aether Ironweave,
I think so. Yeah,
just like
yeah.
the common one?
Yeah. So like basically he was like, okay, I think he had a red left in hand, and his options were, do I arsenal this and then potentially not be able to have go again, or do I just pitch it, go into a 4-card hand, but have the guaranteed go again to kind of go fast? And I think that's going to be kind of the struggle that we're going to run into a little bit with Aurora is how do you constantly keep that embodiment of lightning going live, so that you do have that, you don't have to kind of rely on your cards to give you that go again.
High value blues.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, and granted, I think we're going to see a lot of it. I think things in the news set like the meld cards, I think are certainly going to help whenever you have a lot of lightning instants. To kind of spit things out. She should obviously have no problem kind of playing or doing any kind of lightning stuff. I mean, heck, even just like lightning form, you're coming in with a 5 attack damage on a red, which also, FYI, if you're listening to this and you haven't been to your skirmish yet, I think Rainbow Foil Lightning Form, the EA, is probably one of my favorite promos I've seen yet. It is gorgeous,
Yeah,
and I'm very
yeah.
sad. Like the Earth one looks good too. I'm very sad that I got the Earth one though, as opposed to the Lightning.
Are
That's my
the are
random.
the are the promos only in red, or or is it the full set?
I think it's a full set. It's a full set.
Really? Oh my
So
god!
yeah, so there was
Getting a full play set of all of them, and that's gonna.
I believe
Oh
so.
no!
I mean, I'll have to double check, but I mean, it's nuts. God, see now you got me
Yeah,
wondering.
I can't remember if I feel
And
like I'm gonna
but I
see
mean, it
this and
was like I
feel
was almost
dumb.
telling people like, hey, I would rather have that, I think, than the channel links. No, they're only reds. I lied.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Because like, okay, if you get a random one when you go to a
Oh my
skirmish,
god,
and
it'd be nuts.
you'd have to go 9 times and randomly get the one that you need exactly every time
Yes, yes,
to
yes,
get a
yes.
full playset. That'd be
Yeah,
insane.
no,
Okay,
no, just the
good. They're
reds,
just
just the
reds.
reds.
Okay.
But I mean, it's a gorgeous card. It is really
Yeah,
really good
yeah.
looking.
I'm
And all
just
that. But
relieved because I'm gonna have to only buy 2 more. Um,
you lucky
but
boy.
so on the subject of like lightning cards and Runeblade, um, am I gonna have to go buy shock charmers? Is that like, should I just suck it up and buy them?
I mean,
Is this gonna be?
if you're talking to me, and it's hard to say because again, they basically said, hey, all high value stuff isn't going to be revealed until Tampa. So I assume that means all the legendaries, all the fabled. Like we're getting M's, we're
Yeah,
getting rares, all that kind of good stuff. But I think it's all the legendary gear, Tampa exclusive. So
yeah.
it's hard to sit there and say there's not going to be a better set of like lightning arms or equipment that you're going to want in that spot. Right now, I like.
Are there are there lightning boots right now? I'm trying to
What is?
remember if there
What,
are lightning boots,
I don't. I don't. I
because
think there
there's already lightning gloves. I feel like
there
they
are.
wouldn't. I feel like shock charmers. I feel like they wouldn't make another set of lightning gloves unless they want to like use shock charmers as a way to like have like build diversity,
Sure.
or if they're going to make new lightning boots.
No, no. I mean, I get what you're saying. Let me look. Let's do this. So I know
Because
that I'm
lightning
trying to think
boots
of like what
just
else came
screams
out in.
aggro, right?
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of what else came in the Tale of Aria. So let me see. Let's look at the rarity. Let's look at legendary. I can't remember what the boots were in that set. Spellbound creepers. No, so I don't think there's lightning
Right,
boots.
right.
So
Creepers
because I
were,
say generally Lexi you'd be running snaps or something like that.
yeah.
Uh, so I was like, I don't think that there's a lightning specific set of boots. Now, granted, you know, maybe it's not legendary or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there
That
might
would go
might
live.
be something majestic coming in, but
Yeah, but I mean, it's
yeah.
let's put it this way. I don't. What are even shock charmers going for these days?
Oh,
Because
actually, like the shock charmers are not super expensive. Creepers are still, I
creepers
think,
are
like
rough, but
130.
yeah, creepers have always been relatively expensive, though,
Yeah,
right? I
yeah.
mean, so
Which is it's so crazy that the price never like really dropped on those things. They just
yeah.
they've
Oh,
always been like that.
yeah. They've always been good. Yeah. So they're bringing back runways. I know that was the other one in
Hmm.
Aria, but I if shock charmers are not too expensive, and knowing that this seems to be I almost want to call it like an Icelander esque kind of set
Hmm.
where there's going to be a mix of attacks and, arcane just action kind of spells, especially for wizards. It may not hurt just to pick up a pair. I mean,
Yeah.
what are we looking at? Like 60? Okay, yeah. So it's about $65
Yeah, like
at time of
cold
recording.
foils are like 65.
Yeah. So at that price, it's, I'd almost rather get them and be prepared because, again, I think if they're going to put out lightning specific gear, I don't think they're going to put another lightning specific in the arm slot.
Hmm.
Uh, so having, lightning boots, lightning chest, lightning helm, whatever the case may be, is the call. Also, this has spell void too, which is kind of nice. Being that, you get a little bit of arcane protection off of it, should you decide to use it.
Yeah.
Granted, it's it's kind of a last ditch effort. But what's kind of nice about it too is, we are seeing a lot of this. Hey, if you've done arcane damage this turn, X happens. So I don't think it's a bad pickup, personally.
The only thing looking at it though, because like we just talked about Aurora's ability is to shock charmers is also two. If you want
Hmm.
to use both of those on the same turn, that's four
Yeah,
resources.
yeah,
For
but
yeah, that's six. You know what I mean? That's like kind of expensive for all
it,
that.
it's a
So
it
maybe
is
that
very
doesn't.
expensive.
Yeah, maybe there is a better option that we find.
Yeah, the only thing that's kind of nice about it is it's like it's almost the flick knives equivalent of for lightning, but
Right,
it
right,
costs,
because it's an
whereas flick
instant.
knives is free.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Well, I guess it costs you a dagger, but
Yeah, well, yeah,
it's not
you
terrible.
don't have to blow up shock charmers to use that ability. Flick knives, you're losing your dagger.
Yeah. So, but I mean, like that's the thing is like at least it puts it to a point where somebody can't say I'm gonna be willing to take this and go to one if you have any resource float.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, which in a hero like Aurora, maybe that makes sense. Maybe it's something of saying like, hey, I'm just constantly going to be threatening this. Do I
Yeah,
need to give myself the go again, or do I need
that's
to?
that's true because a lot of the lightning stuff has go again anyway. It has if you played a lightning card, this game's go again. Like you might not always need the embodiment of lightning.
Well, yeah, and it's one of those things too that I think if we see a lot of lightning instants that she is able to play, um, you could still benefit off of it. So let's say you play a lightning instant for 0 or 1. I believe some of the meld cards may actually be lightning instants. I'd have to check. But you play that Aurora for 2. You get your embodiment of lightning on your turn. Then you play something to get go again. So it's not like I got to wait till the end of my turn to get it to set up. There are maybe
Hmm.
instances where we are able to do that. The question just become, yeah. So like electrostatic discharge. Like I'm looking at that.
Shock is also an instant.
Yeah, so basically you electric static discharge, 0 cost. Let's say you play the red, you get +3 in your next attack action. You Aurora, pop that for 2, get your embodiment. You play something that is a 1 cost. You come in potentially probably for like a 7. I mean, you
Yeah,
figure if you're paying 1, it's at least 4. Or like a, what is it, fluttering charge. If you played an instant card, this chain link, it gets go again. So you don't even need
right.
the embodiment. I think there's other ways that maybe it makes sense to say, hey, the shock charmers, have a fit if I don't think I need the Aurora ability. And I have,
Yeah,
and if you're building your deck to constantly have 2 resources kind of available, at the end. Maybe it's just a good alternate path for those resources if you think you got a hand otherwise.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you don't like have to do both of them every turn. You know what I mean? If your hand is looking solid for not needing that embodiment, then you have floating for Shock Charmer's activation.
Yeah. And again, I mean, I'm hoping we see more because we haven't seen a lot of Basilio stuff yet as of time of recording. So that's probably like tomorrow. We're probably a day early here.
Yeah.
But my hopes are there's gonna be a lot more lightning instances, a lot more things like that. Basilio, I think, has real danger to be real goofy. Anything that has first draw a card printed anywhere on the card text is just powerful.
Yeah.
It's great. So basically, discard junk instant, potentially get great card. That's gonna be fun. So if you can manage your sigils, get that free. We were talking a little bit before recording about AMP. Basically kind of navigating the ability to kind of hold priority to get that AMP to go where you want it.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a real silly hero. He has to be when he has less life. Is he the only? He's the only hero that starts under 40 in the set, right? Yeah. For
in the set, yes.
In the set, yeah. So, he kind of has to be a little goofy if that's the case.
Yeah. Well, it's I think that's kind of we brought it up earlier about throwing just normal attacks, just normal small lightning attacks with inherent go again. That's just as another way to just stack up that number of because you're presenting split damage. And it's also a means to stack up that number of lightning cards you've played this turn, and then get a big amp there. And then presumably you're going to start with like you said, with a lightning instant, so that the weapon is free. It seems very easy to, and like since it seems like most of those sigils are like destroy after the start of your next turn. So like your sigil count is probably going to be, I'm assuming you're going to want to at least have one sigil permanent up at all times, so and they have one in your hand and then resources to do the rest.
Yeah, and what's kind of so like they have the the sigil brilliance or whatever, that's a specialization. Beginning your action phase, destroy this. When it leaves the arena, draw a card. So basically, to your point, it's put this in an instant. Now I can sit here and activate my my lightning wand, my Harry Potter lightning wand, for free, and all is good. Like it's not all sigils are actions or anything like that. So you have the ability to get this in, get the card draw coming later. I think it's gonna be real good. I think it's gonna be real funny.
It's just like I don't know if I worded that correctly, but like not every sigil is destroy at the start of your next turn. It just like seems like a lot of them are.
A lot seem to be similar to that, or like have conditions that have to be met to be destroyed. Like I think there's ones like, hey, destroy this if you take arcane, or destroy this if you deal arcane, or something.
Yeah, as long as it's
arcane
not
shelter.
As long as it's not just a like basically every guardian aura, right? Like at the start of your next turn, destroy this, something happens. At least they're not all like that. There are some that just stick around until some other condition is met.
Certainly. He's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm waiting to see kind of what we see more with the lightning heroes.
Yeah. It might be a wizard I'm actually interested in playing for once.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. Like, and it's funny because people are talking about the wizard class right now, and you hear a lot of people sitting there saying, like, oh my god, all this amp, Kano's going to be nuts. They need to do something to prep. Like, it's a normal preset panic of everybody saying, oh my god, they need to ban some stuff for Kano, like Aether Wildfire right now. It needs to be banned. And I'm like, no. I'm fully in the camp of, let's not ban anything for Kano, like Aether Wildfire. Let's let him have a season where he just rains destruction on everybody and send him out in glory.
Let him go out in glory. Exactly. Let
me Wildfire for 8. That's fine.
Just Kano straight to the moon.
Yeah. It's like the Zen approach. Just let Zen just have his moment in Blitz. Let him be broken. Let him get out of here. Post this. Let everybody fear Kano and go, I need to put AB4 at least in my sideboard.
AB4 and an Arcane Lantern. No weapon.
Yeah. Just wild. Like that, my Jubil Dory will be coming in real strong.
Oh,
there's something like AB5 essentially sitting on you.
3. Well, couldn't you? No, Jubil is
you got to hit for it. Yeah, it's Jubil's 2-hand. Oh,
it's
god.
A 2-hand. It's
if it was a 1-hand. Oh my god, that would be hands down my
AB6,
favorite Dory deck. If I could
AB6
just be
4 arcade
dual
barrier
swinging
lanterns.
Jubiles, I'm actually oh god, I can't remember who it is.
No,
What
don't dual swing it. Just put arcane lantern in your
no,
offhand.
nope,
Like
nope.
Jubilee's too expensive to swing twice, isn't it?
It's only one. It costs one to swing.
But doesn't it have the? Oh no, I'm thinking of something different.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jubil costs one to swing, and then on hit you get the Aegis token. So it would be awesome if it's like I could just swing one, you deal arcane, I pop it, swing it again, deal arcane, I pop it, swing a second one, you deal arcane, I pop it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a fun weapon. I'm getting in Tampa. I'm buying a cold foil one off of somebody.
Oh man,
So I'm very excited.
you can do that in Dory and just run all the like Blade Runners and stuff.
It was funny whenever Feeney kind of started the game. He was playing Kano and Blitz, and I remember I went to an armory and I brought the Jubil Dory, and he was just getting so frustrated. He goes, I can't get through. I'm like, I got hit me for days. I was like, everything's a blue and a pitch. Like
That's awesome.
It is so fun. But yeah, so like that'll be a good time. We got Verdance, we got Florian coming out. Did you get to catch any of the Blitz decks?
Yeah, I was
Like
gonna
the
say. So
gameplay videos?
let's switch over to the Earth Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to talk about Lightning because I am Team Lightning, and Lightning is best. So
Boo.
now that we got that out of the way, the like learn to play video. Which two heroes were they using?
So Verdance, I think, is the most interesting. Or not Verdance, sorry, Florian. I think is the most interesting. I am very much on team hot to go again with Verdance personally. I want those on sleeves. If anybody wants to make HOTTOGO again, perfect. Perfect.
Again. Okay.
Yeah, hot to go again. But I think Verdance is going to be personally my playstyle more, even if I don't think she's the stronger of the wizards or the stronger of the Earth heroes. I think, and I'm praying to God I'm wrong. Please, somebody that is better at deck building in this game than me, make a broken Verdance deck so I can be happy. But I think she is going to be the Betsy of the set.
Oh, you think?
I do. I think, so first let's talk about this. So like you and I kind of noticed this. The difference on young and old for the Earth heroes.
Yes.
Of how much needs to be banished.
Totally forgot about that. That's pretty wild, right?
Yeah, it's the first time in the set. So for people that don't have the cards in front of them, the young heroes, it says if there are 4 or more Earth cards in your banished zone, yada yada yada. Adults 8. First time that we know of, or we could think of, that heroes have different ability hero text.
Yeah.
Based upon the age or the format, which makes sense.
The age.
Yeah. The baby Verdance versus adult Verdance, but yeah, because as I said, it'd be tough to get 8 in your banished zone in
during a Blitz game. Yeah.
So.
And this is probably the first time that it has made sense to do different, values for, because I mean, yeah, like at what point are you going to actually get 8 cards in your banished zone during Blitz? Like it's just there's not going to be enough turns to do it.
No.
So I mean, yeah, it's cool. They're breaking, they've been breaking some of the old convention for some of these newer sets, and I think that's always cool when they do.
Smart.
Just smart. Like you gotta, they're doing these things for the sake of letting the game grow, and when the game's starting, they got to keep everything super, if you just think about it from like a development perspective, like when it's starting, you gotta have conventions and make sure everything is conventions is not the word I was looking for. You know what I meant. You got to have some order. You got to have things in template. But now like they can break some of those things because I think are more confident in their design and stuff. So
yeah,
that's really neat to see.
Yeah. So the gameplay, like I said, in the Blitz deck videos that Elsa's put out, Florian looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Florian, I mean, Verdance also looked real cool of the, hey, I'm gonna get real low early, but I'm gonna start decomposing, I'm gonna start getting this up, and now here comes the health life gain, and I'm gonna try to kind of fight my way back. That also seems real fun. I like that we have grassy sink below with Rebound Carapace. We're seeing a lot more decomposed cards, which is nice.
So let's talk about that one. It's basically a sink below, but instead of sinking something, you banish.
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
once you
you got to
banish,
banish 2 Earth cards.
once you decompose, you get, so decompose is always the same, right? Like 2 Earth cards and an action card. Is that always the 2 Earth cards and an action card?
I don't know if it's always
2
the
Earth
action.
cards
Look
and an
on
action
banish 2
card.
Arcs. So yeah, so it looks
Yep.
like you're
Yep.
2 and an action card. So it looks like you're always getting rid of 3,
Yeah.
right? And an action card. It says it has to be different,
Okay.
right? So banish 2 Earth cards and an action card from your graveyard. Yeah, I don't.
Two. So
2 Earth and
can you do an Earth non, like an Earth
an Earth
instant?
action. That's what I'm trying to think. I don't think so.
Oh God, I didn't even think about. I just assumed it was 3. I assumed it was
I
2
think
Earth
3 is
cards
right
and
based
an
on
action card.
the wording and the writing. Because that would be weird if you could just be like 2. One of them's an action because it would say one of which has to be an action or something like that. So it's and a. So, but it doesn't have to be an Earth. So it could be, hey, I just got a basic wizard or I got a basic rune blade.
Okay.
That's fine. But I mean,
so whenever you decompose, you have to do 2 Earth cards. So every time you decompose, you're getting 2 closer. So you have to decompose 4 times to get to that. Now, is there anything that can remove cards from Banish Zone?
Not that I've seen, or well, I mean, you got new. New certainly could if it's a blue in the Banish Zone. And new cheese
can. Okay. So if they go banish, so new could actually take them off of their hero ability.
Certainly, yeah. So
yeah, because you
may have
from. Okay, that's interesting.
You may have a new sideboard or build that basically is focused less around the mask for the chi of trying to strip cards from hand. If you're going up into a Florian or Verdance, and primarily saying, I'm gonna consistently try to take these blue Earth cards out of your.
So you can't be online. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean,
other than that though, you can with almost 99.9999% certainty say like after your 4th decompose, your hero is turned on. Now that also means that you have to have enough cards in your graveyard to begin with. So presumably you're not going to just draw good hands and get to your 8 cards on your like 4th turn. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like you still have to have the fuel in the graveyard. So that seems like it's going to be a more late game thing that you actually get to that hero ability turned on.
Sure. And I think that's the thing that scares me about these Earth heroes right now is the current meta seems to be so fast that, are you going to have 4 or 5 turns to even get your hero turned on where you can start really benefiting from this ability? And that's the reason why I say I think Verdance is in a weird spot is that she seems very much of, I want to buy my time, just keep my life okay, not threaten a whole ton of damage, and just constantly decompose, and then kind of at a mid-game status, flip the switch, now heal myself back up, and start dealing that damage and being a threat.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things, you see a Florian or Verdance against you across the table, you're just racing. You're going as fast as you can. I think New's going to struggle a lot in the in the new meta post the what's it called? Post the Earth Heroes coming out, because if I'm an Earth Hero going into a new and they attack, I throw my entire hand at the attack. I don't care what it is, and all of it gets banished. So it's saving me the decompose.
Oh yeah. Good point.
Yeah. So now that new is very much a threat, I think the Earth Heroes kind of become a counter to new, but then they still struggle into other kind of things.
Yeah.
But it'll be like a real good time. Like this was a set that when it was announced, I was like, oh good, it's a set I don't have to buy. I don't play Rune Blade, I don't play Wizard.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started to play a little bit of Wizard and Kano and Blaze, and I'm like, okay, Wizard's a lot of fun. I get why people love it. And then I started to look at these cards and go, this set seems like a blast. Like, even if I'm not a Rune Blade player, I can go, I understand why Florian looks fun. Like, I've played Fi, had good time with Fi, so I can get the go fast, kind of Aurora mentality. But it is going to be, I think, real wild in Tampa to kind of see what people come up with and what they do kind of on short notice whenever we don't know what the L's are. We don't kind of know how those may wildly shift. The meta and the gameplay.
I mean, I'm honestly kind of the same. I wasn't looking forward to buying a lot of the set. because I was like, ugh, all arcane. I had been actually like dreading the all arcane set since that got announced because
Yes.
I thought it was gonna be way more oppressive. That I was like, okay, 4 wizards, just screw it, 4 wizards, everything's crazy, maybe one rune blade, but like it changed because I think I've said this before. I completely changed my mind when I saw what Aurora did
Mm-hmm.
and what it looked like because I like aggro. I
Yeah.
like playing aggro decks. I just don't like ninja. I'm pretty sure I like said that exact thing last week, but that's the truth. I don't know. I think ninjas aren't as thematically fun as what Aurora is. I let all the lightning and all the just vibrant art and stuff. Like it's just like this is fun.
It's
It's
cool.
just going to be
Like
fun to play these cards.
and so there's also like the collector aspect of it too, of me going like so first Tails I think is one of the best looking sets that they've come out
Oh
with. Like
yeah.
I mean
Oh yeah.
everything about it real cool, love the art. And since this kind of falls in the same uh feel or same like
Oh yeah.
spirit of
It's
Tails,
Rosetta art, yeah.
yeah, it feels good. Like the second they put
It's
out
I said it's Rosetta art. I meant it's Tails art.
it sounds like we knew where you're going. But like the second they put out Blood Torn Bodice, I was like, I hope this is an EA cold foil common that you can pull because if so, I want it. Like
Yeah.
it is like it looks so cool. Like
Yeah.
and so there's definitely a collector aspect of I want to see what EALs are going to be. What is the God? What so they did all the lore and they released the story of the rot wood and all that kind of good
Yeah.
stuff, the
Yeah. Yeah.
location. I hope the Fableds like travel to the Rotwood, like
Yeah.
instead of Corsham, just be like, go to Dead Tree.
Go,
Like,
yeah, that's actually whoa, that would
what
be pretty
what
cool.
when you arrive at the Dead Tree, if it
Yeah.
is dusk, like make it the whole terrible Corsham wording of
Yeah.
like, oh, if it
I
is a
hate
new day,
I hate the Corsham wording so much, but if they
oh, it
just
confused the
leaned
hell out of
into
me.
it and did that exact thing, made the Rotwood be like a landmark and have
Yeah,
it worded in that same weird way, that'd be funny.
that'd be real fun.
Yeah,
I
I'd be
I
down
like
with
that
that.
a lot. But like, I mean, it is I think going to be a real fun set.
Yeah.
I'm excited, just like I said, for the moments of at pre-release when we're sitting at a table in Tampa, and you just hear down the table because I know it's not going to be me the one yelling it like, "Oh God, it's legendary!" and like everybody just flocking. Like, what the
Yeah.
hell do you mean? Like,
Yeah.
what is it? What does it do? Like that'll
Everything's
be
gonna be on Twitter now.
real neat, real neat. Because yeah, it's not like, oh, this has been out for 2 weeks and everybody knows what the L's are. So like the real well practiced and competitive teams can prep for the calling. It's at most everybody has a day to fully prep of saying, okay, here's the entire set, here's the L's. If we get it, what do we build? If we don't, what do we
Yeah.
build? Um
But there's also, I mean, what we have of the set released
you can get most of it.
is like, yeah, I mean, everybody kind of gets the basics of it. I think it's a lot of
Sure.
M's that are going to be big unknowns, maybe some specialization cards that are going to be some you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. So
Like
we're
I
like
could
what?
see them doing that.
I'm looking now, we're missing about 20 at time recording, 20 majestics, 10 rares, 28 commons.
Okay.
So in all, 5 L's, one fabled. So less
Um,
than 50 cards.
the official spoilers from content creators are over, right? Or is there a
No,
last wave tonight?
there's still more. So I know like DM Armada is coming tonight. Let me see. Black Frog 10 p.m. TBD. So yeah, it looks like
Kiki's was
there's still
last
coming.
night.
Who's?
Kiki's was last night.
Kiki's was the according to Fabry on the 28th. So
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
today
I
as of
got
recording.
I got Twitter notifications. I got the apps popping up for like all the spoilers, but like it was a very late night last night. I'm like, did that happen at midnight last
Yeah,
night or like
Keeking had
9
etching
today? Okay.
etching of Arcana, which is a common. Twinkle Toes with Sunflower Samurais.
Twinkle. Okay.
Hayden Dale. I mean, like I know like I think the TCG guys, they're on there, but I don't see them on the here prior days. Let me expand it. Yeah, there's all of them. So yeah, so it looks like the ones coming up are still not done, but yeah, like Majin Bay had one. Tommy Fresh. I
Did
liked
I
I liked
accidentally?
Tommy Fresh as he was
Oh,
prepping just
I
on
didn't get to
Twitter. He
watch the
just had
video.
like streaking like mascara, like very emo-ish. Like and I was cracking up. Yeah, breezy card guys hit the high notes. But yeah, it looks like primarily all commons or mainly commons, with a couple rares mixed in here and there that aren't kind of the expansion slot
Yeah.
ones. So I mean, it's neat. It's just it's gonna be real cool. It's gonna be a fun set, and I hate that I'm saying that because like you, I was like the arcane set is gonna be the one that I can save money on because I don't want a lot of it, and now I'm
Yeah.
like,
Oh no.
John, day one, here's all the wizard singles I want to
Yeah.
buy. When you open all your stuff for the store, please set some aside for me so on release day I could just buy all the wizard stuff and be a happy little wizard boy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it'll be neat. It'll be a good time though. It'll be a good time. I'm very excited for Tampa. I'm very excited for the set. And kind of what comes from it. So
What is there was just something mini tokens are back?
oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
If you look at the Blitz videos, like just casually they're using it. Unless it's like
Nice.
just LSS office kind of stuff, but yeah, they have like I think little rune chant tokens of bing, here we go. Like,
I do like the new art on the
the
rune
mini
chants.
tokens are fun.
Yeah.
I love the mini tokens. There's
Cool.
I think
I
somebody
just
also said
happened to stumble across that on Twitter as I was looking for something.
I think somebody also said in the video there was a cold foil rune chant. I'd have to go back and watch to confirm that though.
SCG's promos are cold foil lightning rune chants.
Maybe that's the one that they saw that and were thinking of.
Which is they have got me again. I just keep wanting to get those promos because
yep. Normally I'm what's it called? Not TCG players. I'm normally what's the other group? Blocking on name. They always have the promo. Team Covenant.
Oh yeah.
And normally I'm a box on theirs.
Yeah, I canceled my TC subscription just because I was like, I'm buying too much because I kept being like, oh, I want to get those promos, and then there's like, oh, but there's these other promos, but then also I have to buy from the store. Yep. So like, oh no, I said one case and now I'm 3 in. Like,
fully get it.
Oh, that was not good. Good financial decisions for me, but we wouldn't be playing TCGs if we made good financial decisions.
No, of course not.
So we kind of covered everything with the heroes, right? I mean, I know we didn't go into like super detail, but we touched everything on the heroes and the new cards, and all that kind of stuff. Anything else that we didn't kind of cover on that? That you can think of? Oh, hey, I think you muted yourself.
There we go.
Okay, so everybody probably just got a big back from technical difficulties plate. We're good. We're alive. Everything is a-okay. But I think that's going to probably wrap it up for this week. Right before the technical difficulties happened, I was just saying, like, I think we covered everything. So we are good. Before we wrap up, just want to remind everybody we have a new public Discord open. Link will be in the video description. There's just like the social feed, and then there's just discussion threads for everybody. We have a small group in there already, maybe only like 30 so far, 20, 25, 30s. So come and hang out. It's probably another Discord channel that you have to like get notifications from, but we're hoping to be active there and kind of just hang out with everybody. So
yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time. I mean, and if worse comes to worse, you can tell us, hey, this is the stuff that you like that we make, or stuff that you want to see more of or less of, and certainly we'd love to hear your feedback on kind of what's working, what's not.
Yeah, and occasionally I put a screenshot of a system setting I want Chris to change in the general chat instead of the private chat, so you get to see some of that stuff sometimes. But yeah, come join us there. There's also a Patreon we're starting to get rolling. We'd love for some of you to join. There's going to be some like bonus stuff, deck lists, maybe access to like deck techs early. I think we talked about some stuff like that.
Yep.
If there ever was a group of people to listen to about deck techs, it would be not clearly us. But it's fun. It's fun. Maybe some UPF stuff. We'll see. Also, thank you, Jeff. Very good embroidery for the shirts. Mine is in the dishwasher because, unlike Chris, I didn't want to wear a super wrinkly out of a UPS shipper t-shirt for the thing.
There's wrinkle hate going on for me this whole time.
I'm a little wrinkled too, but yeah, they literally just got to us today. They look great. They're nice t-shirts. Hopefully we're going to be selling some of those soon.
Yep.
once we get all that stuff sorted out, along with the play mats. So if you're interested in any of that, the Discord would be a good place to ask.
Certainly, I know Craig has some play mats. I think he's bringing some to Tampa to try to sell too. So if anybody wants, the artist snore play mat, I think he'll have some on him. But Craig is once a week sending Brice and I pictures of play mats that he's designing and things like that. So
They're
between
all
that,
wonderful.
like I said, as Brice said, the clothing store. Hopefully we're gonna have a couple things there with the logos, all that good stuff. Posted some Twitter. Some people said that they like the red. It's certainly more pink in person than it is
Oh,
red, but
it's
I like it
pink.
a lot.
Yeah, it is like a pastel pink. The
Yeah,
blue's also great. I love
yeah,
that. Like, I love the shade of blue. It turned
yeah.
out good.
They're all very good. So you'll easily be able to find us in Tampa if you are looking for the
Yep.
O3 crew. We will
Yeah.
stand out like sore thumbs, I'm sure.
Those or the green sheet jerseys.
Yes, they'll be there.
Either
So
either one. Yeah, there's going to be a ton of us down there. Come find us. We like talking to people when we're out. So
yep, I'm hoping we'll have some, what's it called, embodiment of lightning, embodiment of earth cards to give
oh
away.
yeah, do you have the tokens to show?
I don't
We
have them
can.
yet. They're in the mail.
Okay.
It's gonna be real tight. It's gonna be real tight. They're supposed to come sometime before the day that I leave to get on a plane, or up to that day. So either they're gonna be sitting in my
Oh
mailbox as
boy.
I'm in Tampa, or I will have them in hand and bring them with us. They are very much a first test for tokens and things like that. I found a company to print and all that kind of good stuff. But I'm just testing how much safe edge I need to put around them. So make it a little bit of the top cut off, maybe a little bit of the bottom, but we're, just like to give them away. Going to try to do those for like every set just to give to people to play,
do
just
you
something a little fun.
do you just got like a big paper cutter back there?
Yeah, secretly I have my kids.
Do they actually come to you like in sheets, like, or
No,
are they cut?
no, they'll come to me in like a nice little package
Oh,
thing of
okay.
cards. I wish it came to me in a full sheet. I would love it, like a whole sheet just hanging on my wall of like the O3 embodiment of Earth, embodiment of light tokens.
They do the printing for a little cheaper if you cut them yourself.
No, they will.
Good investment.
If it was me, I'd hopefully have the cutting a little bit more where I want it. But no, it should be fun. So come find us. We'll have tokens, maybe stickers, play mats, all that kind of good stuff. So
Our own smiling faces, who are, trust me, very sociable, especially Craig.
yeah, Craig. Oh my God, yeah, he'll talk to you like he's known you forever. I mean,
and you won't have any trouble hearing him in that convention
yeah.
center.
I keep trying to convince him to run around in a luchador mask and just not explain why. Just be like, what are you talking about? This is how I always look.
Yeah, this is just what we do. Go back and like AI manipulate every previous video to have him wearing a luchador mask, just gaslight every, like, I've always worn this.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I mentioned it just off topic, and he goes, "I own 4 luchador masks." I'm like, "Of course you do, Craig. Of course you own 4 luchador masks. You of course don't need to go out and buy one."
Yeah,
But
we'll have to maybe get like an Amazon one. Who knows?
It'll be
Anyway, I think that about covers it. So thanks everybody. Stay pizza.
Stay pizza.
Goodbye. No. I can't see any sound activation on your channel in yeah, I can hear my system volume. I have system volume and everything, so I thought my headphones died for a second there. I cannot see sound activation from you in Riverside. So you might need to plug something in, or okay.